So guys, listen up, man. Quitting pornography is going to be a very challenging task. For 33 days, I stopped viewing pornography. I stopped looking at it. I made that pact with myself, that oath, that I'm going to stop viewing pornography. And what did I do on the 34th day? Listen, man, on the 34th day, I fell short. I'm here to make this video to let y'all know that I fell short. And I failed myself, and I failed the Most High. I made a promise that I was not going to look at pornography, and I did. I recently went back on my Twitter, and I got very, very aroused, and I started getting that itch. I started getting that urge to arouse myself, and but in the midst of that, of getting aroused and feeling horny and stuff, of looking at the adult content, I did not bust a nut. I did not masturbate. I did not jerk off. I didn't do none of that, fam. When it comes to semen retention, I have always been consistent with retaining my sexual energy. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been having a lot of wet dreams. I have a lot of wet dreams. Not every night, but I would say more so every week, sometimes every 2 weeks. But it seems to be very frequent that I have wet dreams. I wake up, the boxers, have a giant puddle in the middle. I wake up with a giant puddle. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, sheesh, it happened again, huh? But I want you guys to understand, you guys are not alone in terms of this addiction, of this habit, because we have all fell short. I have fell short. Everybody else has fallen short, have failed at one point or another in quitting an addiction forever. This is not an easy journey. This lifestyle change is not going to be fast. It's not going to happen overnight, because this does take time. And I had I go back to the triggers. I go back to what is triggering me to keep watching that content. I'm the one that gave myself the access, because it comes back to take accountability. That's my fault that I fell short. I'm exposing my eyes to that filth. I'm exposing myself to that ungodliness, right? To Satan's work. Because the porn industry, that's the devil's work right there, fam. Straight up. But it's like every time I try to quit, man, it's like I keep seeping back into that habit, bro. And I know deep down inside I want to quit. I know I want to turn away from this forever, but I have to understand, this is going to take time. I want it to be quick. I want this to end right now. I no longer want to be attached to this addiction, to this, to that type of content. I don't want my brain to be desensitized to pornography no longer. Because with a lot of our brains, man, they have become desensitized, conditioned to, watch that type of content and to be aroused. There's a lot of dopamine that is being produced when you're watching two people having, going at it in bed. There's a lot of dopamine being produced, a lot of blood rushing through your body, from your brain to, to your penis and stuff. You get all racked and hard because of what you're watching, But one thing about me is, yes, I have definitely relapsed in terms of busting a nut, but this is not an everyday thing for me at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't bust nuts at all. I don't bust every day. Once in a while it has happened. But consuming the pornography has been a very tough challenge, daunting task of quitting forever. That is what I've always been struggling with, because I knew deep down inside there was a lot of guilt, a lot of shame when it came to PMOing, watching porn, orgasm, all that stuff, masturbation, the whole combination, the whole 9 yards, the whole down bad kit. You feel me? Like that was never the case for me at all. On a rare occasion that would happen. But it's either or. Sometimes I'm just gonna be, releasing without pornography, or I'm gonna be constantly watching porn and not busting no nuts. It's either or, right? But I wanna be at a point in my life where I'm doing neither of those things. Both those things are completely eliminated from my life. They're eliminated from my reality. And you see, this is where I need to condition myself of a circumstance where I no longer entertain pornography. I no longer entertain lust. I no longer entertain masturbation or releasing or busting a nut to feel good for 5 seconds. Like that no longer needs to be part of my reality, And so this is where it comes down to conditioning myself to that circumstance, But I'm telling you guys are not alone in this journey, right? You're not alone. Your boy fell short. On 34 days, on day 34, I fell short. And I failed myself and I failed the Lord. But just like anything in life, when you fall, you get hit with a setback, you gotta get back up. When you fall off the horse, you gotta get back on the horse. You gotta get back in a fight. There's no time to dwell. There's no time to feel sorry for yourself. Nah, man. It's time to get back in a fight. Time to do some deep introspection and analyze why you did what you did. Take the time to figure out what the triggers are and do better next time, apply those mistakes that you made and, keep on going, but really look at your triggers as to what is causing you to slip back into a relapse, or just looking at pornography to get yourself entertained down there. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for me to always check in with myself and then do that inventory, okay? And what's causing me to watch this, and what can I do to prevent this from happening again in the future? What can I do next time that will prevent this from happening, right? And this is a conversation that I need to have more often with myself, a lot more often. Always be conscious of what of what is triggering me and quickly nip that in the bud. Quickly, get that out the way. You feel me? And I encourage you guys to do the same thing as well. Have that conversation with yourself and figure out your triggers. Figure out what you need to do to prevent a relapse or prevent yourself from looking at explicit content. It comes down to denying yourself access to that pleasure, right? To that source of pleasure. And I always found myself just, getting more access to that source of pleasure. You know what I'm saying? I had to deny myself access. But you know what? For some reason, on day 34, I went right back into that source of pleasure. Because I had a moment of weakness. And I let that moment of weakness be the reason, be the cause as to why I needed to feel some type of pleasure, right? I let that be my downfall. So with that being said, man, this is Retention Lifestyle.